In this video, we're going to talk about building a consistent writing routine when you have a full-time job. When I was a student, I used to love late night writing sessions. When the rest of the household was in bed, I was up till 2 or 3 a.m. feverishly writing away at those stories. But then I grew up. I went off to university, and then I became a full-time teacher who works before school and after school. And for me, this ultimately led to me pushing writing aside for 2 years. But eventually, I realized how empty my life felt without writing in it. And so I started to build up a new writing routine that was consistent and fit into my new season of life. And so today, I want to guide you through building a routine that works for your lifestyle. We're going to look at actionable steps that you can take to start scheduling writing sessions into your week and consistently working on that routine. We aren't going to force ourselves to write every day, and we're not going to force ourselves to write for extended periods of time. First, we have quarterly planning. Choosing smaller, bite-sized writing goals can keep up our motivation and makes the need to complete those goals more immediate. If you haven't heard of this idea before, we are going to break our year into 4 quarters. That gives us 3 months per quarter. We're going to take our giant writing goal, such as completing an entire novel, and break it down into smaller goals, steps along the way that we know can be reasonably accomplished within 3 months. So if you are working on that rough draft, it might be completed within the first 3 months. The next 3 months might be doing a revision. Then you might be sending it off to your first reader who's going to give you feedback. And those last 3 months of the year might be those final rewrites. So take a look at your writing goal for the year. Where are you right now? What needs to happen next? Map out the actions that you need to take to accomplish it by the end of the year, and then start to work backwards. Consider what can be accomplished in the next 3 months. Set those down as a goal, move the other items to the next 3 months and the months after that, and use that as a guidepost to lead your way. Now that we have more manageable writing goals, it's time to schedule writing into our weeks. I know that a lot of us really want to write when we are inspired, but the truth is, inspiration won't always hit us at the perfect moment. So instead, we're going to craft a schedule that we are consistently committing to, and we are going to train our brain to want to write, or at least to be ready to write when our scheduled writing blocks come around. It's important that we're very honest with ourselves about how much time we have within a week to write. We know the expected times for us to be at work, but sometimes we forget about all of the other obligations, about how commuting from work and to work is a chunk of time that we may not be working on our stories also. So before you even commit to writing on a Friday afternoon, I want you to pull out a calendar, print one off from the internet, and write down every commitment and obligation you have throughout a month. Make sure that you're looking at your work schedule, your commuting time, any standing events or commitments, time with family. All of that can go onto our schedules. Once you've got your schedule filled out, I want you to start looking for your free spaces. Could be early in the morning before the rest of the household gets up. It could be in the evening once the household is quiet and put to bed. It could be in the middle of the day if you have a day off or you work on weekends. Everybody's schedule is going to look different. There is no one right time to write. When you're scheduling writing sessions into your week, I want you to make sure that you have some buffers so you never feel rushed. Think about if you were to write when you get home from work, how there might be traffic sometimes, or you might have to stay late. And maybe a 20 minutes of empty space before your writing session begins will help you feel that you can still accomplish this goal consistently. How often you write in a month is up to you. Writing every day is an ideal that so many of us strive for, yet can't hit. And this makes us feel guilty. You do not need to write every day to be consistent. I definitely don't write every day. I may write a few times a week, a bit more on the weekend if I'm not busy, and that's enough for me. It might mean that I finish writing 1 chapter in an entire week. So take a look at your schedule again and then plot out how many writing sessions you believe you could commit to right now. We can always bump it up later. After trialing this schedule out for a week, go back to it and revise it. Maybe that means you're shortening the amount of time you're writing for, or you're moving the writing session days around, or you're taking one day out entirely. Whatever is going to make you feel super accomplished by the end of your writing sessions. Let's also talk about how long we're writing for and how to do so without feeling guilty that we aren't accomplishing other tasks around us. We need to accept that sometimes when our scheduled writing block comes around and the dishes are still in the sink, that's okay because we have committed to it just as we do when going out with a friend. We are going to leave those dishes there, not worry about them until after our writing session. This tells our writerly brain that writing is as important as all of the other obligations in our life. After 2 years of not writing, it wasn't so much that I didn't know how to carve out time in my schedule anymore, but sitting quietly to write for an extended period of time was now a challenge. And I realized that expecting myself to write for an hour straight without getting distracted was not an expectation I needed at this moment. After doing a bit of research, I came across the Pomodoro technique, where essentially you use a visual timer to keep you on task for 25-minute sessions with 5-minute breaks in between. Now, even that amount of time was a challenge for me. So I took this strategy and adjusted it quite a bit for myself. When I started writing again, I set a timer for just 5 minutes every day when I returned home from work. I sat down with my paper and my pen and I wrote for exactly 5 minutes straight. And whether that meant I only wrote a few sentences or a paragraph before the timer went off, I was still getting writing done. The goal here isn't to start at 5 minutes unless that will help you. It's to start by setting manageable chunks of time that you know you can sustain writing for. You may discover after a while that you are frequently writing over that time set. And this is amazing. You are always allowed to write once the timer goes off. It is simply a space to tell you that you are also allowed to stop writing because you have achieved your goal. But once you do see that you are writing more than that 5 minutes or whatever time you've set consistently, it's time to bump your timer up a bit. So for me, I did that in 5-minute increments until I got 45 minutes, which did take a few months. We are in no rush here to complete our stories. We are working on building a writing routine that suits our lifestyle. So go back to the schedule you've set for yourself and ask, how much time can I set aside to write each day right now? Use a timer, sit down, write for only that amount of time. When the timer goes off, feel great in knowing that you are allowed to put your writing away until your next session. Or if you are feeling like you have extra time on your hand, you can continue. It is totally up to you. Carving out short, focused writing sessions can be more beneficial than marathon writing. If your current routine is making you feel stressed, overwhelmed, like a failure, it is not working for you, even if it seems to be working for a different writer. It may take me longer to complete a manuscript than other writers, but being gentle with my writing routine and committing to schedule writing sessions that work within my personal routine have made me feel more successful as a writer, and I hope these tips will help you as well. If you're looking for a little bit more support with building a writing routine that fits into your full-time work schedule, I want you to check out the link in the captions. I have created a free time tracking sheet that allows you to start with tracking where your time goes each week so that you can pull out the fluff, map out where writing sessions can fit into your schedule, and reflect back on it each week so you can continue to refine and tweak it until you have a routine that works consistently for you. If you liked this video, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and happy writing!